Oh, welcome back
Woo.
to the Foamy Heads. We are, man, we are getting into it.
Yeah, there's no time to waste, Mitch.
So it's once again Richard and Mitch here. We're the usual hosts of the Foamy Heads. So it's been a fun weekend, and the week is already practically over in a matter of a snap.
It was quick, Mitch.
Yeah. Last night, before I start pouring this beer, I did try another Black is Beautiful.
Ooh, I actually did as well. I did I think I was out smoking a cigar last night with a couple of buddies, and I ended up cracking open one of I think I was doing the Bearded Irish Black is Beautiful.
Same here.
Nice. How'd you like it?
Yeah, we had the Living Waters one. It was right now that one's my favorite collaboration.
Yeah.
It had a little more roastiness, a little more bitter, like coffee notes.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it a lot. And then the Bearded Iris one, I think, is a little chocolatier and more like it was heavier. It was a lot heavier.
It's a Bearded Irish stout.
Yeah,
they're good at IPAs. I mean, I assume they're good at sours also. I just don't drink sours, but they're good at IPAs and stouts. And their IPAs taste like Bearded Irish IPAs, and their stouts taste like Bearded Irish stouts. They're very V Fudge esque.
Yeah, they are. And I just wanted to shout out about the Black is Beautiful. You know, it's been out. Everyone's been doing collaborations with. I'm going blank on the name of the brewery. I think it's Weathered Souls Brewery was the one that started it.
Yeah, Weathered Souls.
Man, I really wish we could get some Weathered Souls over here and support them, but
I don't think they do that. They don't distribute out here, but it's interesting to see them doing that. You know, putting out it's a little different from the what was it, the All Together collaboration where other half kind of took a recipe and they sent it out to everybody. They said, hey, don't deviate from the recipe too much, but make it your own. And so most of the All Togethers relatively taste kind of the same, but we're getting a different experience with these Black is Beautiful because it's more of like a project rather than like a single beer. It's it's a brewery saying, hey, this is what it stands for. Go out and make your Black is Beautiful version. So we're seeing all kinds of variants pop up. You said Living Waters was kind of more coffee-ish and a little bit hoppier, which I tend to agree with. It was good. I probably liked it better than I liked the Bearded Irish version, but that's not to discount Bearded Irish at all. It's just they're two very different styles of stouts.
Yes, yeah. And man, I haven't went to see them yet, but I'm trying to think of the name of the Memphis brewery that just opened. That's Black owned. It's awesome. Everything they're doing, and they're constantly keeping up and popping out distribution in Memphis, and I'm hoping to see Nashville. I don't know if they're here yet. I'm gonna have to look them up. I follow them on Instagram, and every once in a while I'll see a new beer that they're putting out, and they've got IPAs and all sorts of stuff. So it's I can't wait to see more of their stuff up here.
Was it the Barrel Street? Was it the Beale Street Brewing?
Yes, Beale Street Brewing.
Yeah. And they're doing a Black is Beautiful, like you said it all, and it looks really good. I'm just on the website right now.
I'm hoping we catch a whiff of a couple of those cans up here somewhere. I would assume Total Bev near you would probably be the first place to get them, but I don't know, man. We'll have to make a Memphis trip at some point.
I'm totally down. And speaking of trips, we just got back this past weekend from Knoxville, Tennessee.
Heck yeah.
And we drank a good amount of beer, I'd say.
Yes. It was substantial.
Yeah.
Especially the second location that we got to.
Yeah. Well, first of all, what are we drinking today? Because I know we're going to kind of talk a little about the places that we went to and stuff like that, but we're drinking a Knoxville specific beer as we're going with it. What are we drinking, Mitch?
Well, you'll know more than me on this one, but I'll give you what I got.
Yeah.
The Barrel Aged Dupree by Last Days of Autumn Brewing out of Knoxville.
Yeah.
I can't read any of the other details on their label.
But that's literally all it is. These guys are, huh?
It's a silver can with a label slap.
Yeah, it looks like someone just took like one of those "Hi, my name is" stickers and just kind of like they ran it through a worn down copy machine, with some ink on it, and then slapped it on a sticker and put it on a can. It's very basic, but that kind of speaks to what they're doing. Their size as a whole. They are a very small brewery. Last Days of Autumn has been around for a few years, but they have up until, even now, I probably would say that they're not distributing that much. I know for a fact I haven't seen these guys here in Murfreesboro, and just by looking at their basic can, it doesn't look like that they're putting a lot of effort and money into distributing cans around. They're kind of wanting to stay local and stay small right now, and that's kind of one of the unique aspects of them, is the simple fact that they're just focusing on being a nano brewery and just producing beer for their own good.
Mm-hmm.
So looking at it, Dupree Imperial Stout Bourbon Barrel Age is the one we're drinking. And it's 10% alcohol and 65 IBU. So I think it's going to be decent.
Oh, speaking of, oh man, sorry. Living Waters is dropping 2 things tonight.
What do they got going?
So it's a collaboration with No Quarters.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they've got one coming out. It should be live now. And sorry to interject and hit the Knoxville trip with another local brewery second.
Hey, it's about beer. That's okay.
So they got Fitzgerald, which is the collaboration with No Quarters, which is a Goze or Goes. I think it's just Goze. That's right.
Yeah.
And it's like an easy 6 or 4% or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have Isla that's coming out. It's another fruited anniversary stout. So I'm picking those up now.
We spend too much money at Living Waters. We really do.
Yeah, this whole month and a half has been nothing but burning a hole in my pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And guess who's back at Living Waters Saturday?
Zilla.
Oh,
yes. I love it. Shout out to Big Perm. Zilla, I'm telling you, man, that guy hustles so hard. He's probably one of the hardest, hustlers in the barbecue gang. That dude is always smoking brisket. He's always doing ribs. He's always doing wing. Like, his Instagram page is so wild. He's always got something posting, whether it's for a party, whether he's just smoking meat for whatever. It's always mouth-watering when he posts a picture of whatever meat he's smoking.
And he's stopping by Hendersonville tomorrow, actually, for lunch. He and Meat Sweats are having a little powwow, and he's going to be parked outside that guy's shop.
Oh, that'll be a good idea. That'll be a good time.
I'm ready for this Last Days of Autumn.
I'm pouring mine now, man. I got to be honest. This thing looks super rich. It looks real chocolatey. I don't know what it's going to taste like, but
I've got a good foamy head on that.
Yeah.
It's dark and caramel in color.
Man, it's staying too. It's not, it's dissipating very, very slowly. I should have not aggressively poured this beer because I'm going to be waiting for a minute. As I was pouring it, I was holding it up to the light as I was pouring it, and I was getting a very dark, like a dark brownish red caramely color as I was pouring it. But as you put it into the glass itself, it looks really extremely dark. Kind of like it's a stout. That's what it's supposed to be. It just kind of looked a little caramely and red as it was pouring.
True.
10% ABV, 65 IBUs. I don't know. 65 IBUs is pretty heavy, but the higher alcohol could mask some of that hoppiness. I'm really interested. What are you getting on the nose, Mitch?
I'm going to sniff again. It's I always kind of, that smell makes me think just malty, but I don't have the best nose.
I don't
allergies, but
I'm trying to understand. There's a little bit of there's a little bit of caramel. I think
there's a sweetness to it.
Yeah, some chocolate, some I wouldn't know if it'd be dark chocolate. I guess maybe it is. I don't get any coffee. I definitely smell some barrel age to it though.
Yeah. Do you know what it was barrel aged in?
Looking that up right now.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, and when we visited, well, we'll get to what we saw there, but that whole Knoxville stint was great because we stayed and followed procedures for COVID and everything, masked up and all, but it was really chill. All the areas we went to in Old Town or is it Old City? I forget which.
Old City.
Old City.
Yeah. It wasn't, I mean, Friday night was kind of just a chill night, right? We went and we just visited the local casual pint there. We had a couple of good beers. Started out on the tap wall and then quickly kind of got sidetracked when we saw all the cans that they had there and the stuff that we didn't have. And I think we kind of just switched to that, but I think the bulk of our trip was definitely Saturday when we got up, drove into downtown Knoxville. We stayed, probably half hour, 45 minutes outside of Knoxville, Mitch?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then what was the first place that barbecue joint downtown in Knoxville in Old City, Sweet Peas Barbecue.
God, it was good.
That brisket was super good. A decent craft beer selection too, but that's not what we were there for. We were there to eat lunch real quick.
Yeah. Man, what was it? You got brisket. I got the turkey melt. Those are special for the day. That was awesome. I can't remember how smoky the brisket was. I was able to sneak a bite, but it was good.
Yeah, it was good. It was a sweet and spicy rub on it, and that kind of took over in terms of flavor. So there was some smoke and there was some sweet and spicy. It was the rub I was looking for. It reminded me kind of like Zilla's rub, but I think I like Zilla's rub a little bit better just because it's a little bit more unique and it's a little bit sweeter. And so I just think it goes good with brisket, but it was kind of reminiscent of that. That was the only other time I've really kind of had a rub like that. I don't know. Should we take a sip into this, Mitch? Or is your foamy head kind of dying down a little bit?
It has. It's ready for drinking.
I'm going to take a sip right now. Okay. Barrel aged. I taste barrel aged.
Whoa. So it's not as strong as I was anticipating at all.
Nope, not at all. It's I'm definitely getting more chocolate, like dark chocolate, on the taste than I was when I was smelling it.
Definitely.
I think it's kind of that bitter chocolate that stays with you on the end. It kind of starts out like it's going to be a really strong, bitter stout, and then it just kind of turns straight into some barrel-aged goodness and then disappears into some dark chocolate. That's kind of the three stages that I'm getting. I'm going to take another sip.
Yeah, I kind of let it, on my first sip, I'm just letting it kind of settle, and it's a lot of sweet dark chocolate notes.
Yeah, for sure.
Resting on the palate there. It's awesome. It's smooth. The barrel aged stuff hits right up front, kind of fades after you drink it down. It's very curious. It's a lot lighter than the original take.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be this light for a 10% beer, which I guess can kind of get you in trouble. But that's been last days of autumn. The stuff that I've had from them before kind of sneaks up on you. So, this is not too far different than their style of beer. So I'm definitely interested. We didn't pick up any more of their stuff, but I'm interested to go back and try some more. But that's not where we ended up first. We ended up starting out at where was it? We left the barbecue joint and we headed to it was Pretentious Brewing Company.
Oh yeah, Pretentious. That was
in downtown awesome. Knoxville. Different because we didn't have the opportunity to have flights of beer because of the whole they're taking precautions to keep people safe and in the pandemic, so they're not they're pouring their beers in plastic cups as opposed to giving out glasses and flights and things like that. So weren't able to enjoy as many of their beers as we want. But I think we had 3 while we were there, and they were all really good. I mean, we had it was a pale ale, and I think we had a double IPA, and then we moved from there to, was it a pale ale? Was the third one? I'm having to go back into my Untappd so I can see it. Let's see. First one we had Notorious PIG. So that was kind of the.
God, that was so good.
Yeah, that was the Kavik Pale Ale with Simcoe hops. So the Kavik kind of made it a little bit drier, but it was real easy to drink for 5% and 35 IBUs.
Man, and they had all sorts of surprising little artworks of previous beers they did. We found Bubbles from Trailer
Park Boys. They had a depiction of President Trump on there for one of them, which was really funny to look at.
And it was very caricatured and
Tom Green. They had superheroes like Batman and that kind of stuff.
It was awesome.
And then we ended up drinking Public Display of Affection next, which was the New England IPA. And that one was, I think that was good. I think I still liked the Notorious PIG over that one. This one ended up being good, but I think it was just a little light for what I was expecting.
Yeah. That one. I'm trying to think what. Sorry, I keep cutting you off.
No, it's fine.
This whole being remote thing, it's a tendency. I'm trying to think of all the ones. You've got the Untappd pulled up, of course.
Notorious PIG, and then we ended up next had Public Display of Affection was their New England IPA, and then we had Glass Holes, which was Citra, Cascade, and Chinook hops, and that was their American Pale Ale, and that was pretty good too. But I think overall we ended up liking the first one the best, which was the Notorious PIG.
Gosh, that one was the best one, the initial one. I wish we could have gotten into their glass factory side of things.
Yeah, that was really cool because being able to, they're a brewery and glass company, so they kind of take like the glasses that they didn't quite do so well with, and they kind of give them to the brewery next door, and then you're drinking your beer out of this imperfect glass, which was kind of a cool concept. But because again the pandemic, we just didn't get a chance to go in and tour, so that kind of sucks. But so we left there, and then we ended up going to Pour, Pour. I think we just discovered that place, didn't we? That wasn't on the list.
No, I was taking pictures of buildings and graffiti and whatever and old city, and as we walked back to where the car was even parked, apparently that warehouse building had been repurposed into shops or something.
Yeah,
and they were part of the little strip there, and we walked in, and everyone stayed masked up while they got their pours and everything. It was super impressive.
I really liked their style of, we've been to one of those places before, kind of the pay by the ounce, so to speak. They have a massive tap wall with like 70 different beers. Sorry, they had meads and they had wines and ciders on tap too, which were taking up some of the slots, but they had craft beer as well. And then you paid by the ounce. You just scan your wristband, your name activates, and then you can pour straight from the tap handle as much as you want, up to a certain amount, obviously. And so that allowed us to try as many different beers as we wanted, and as little amount as we wanted, because I think we had quite a few while we were there, but we didn't want to fill up all the way, Mitch.
Yeah. It definitely had a limiter on it. I can't remember exactly what it left off at, but I guess you'd have to get it we could have drank 3 or 4 times the amount they allow you.
We could have fucked some beers up, that's for sure.
Yeah. But there was a couple good IPAs that we had there, a double, and was there a triple that we had? Was that
Yep.
the
That was the Waldo special from Lagunitas. That's the triple that comes out every year. And that thing is ridiculous. I mean,
yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I think it was 11. It was either 10% or 11%. It varies on the year.
And it was smooth to drink. Gosh.
11.7%. Sorry, Mitch.
Oh my gosh.
100 IBUs.
Yeah, it set us off right after that place.
That was our last one, because you can't really drink. I don't think you can really have another beer after something like that.
It's a palate record.
It was really good, and that was a unique experience, because we got a chance to try a few beers, small amounts of local beers and just other ones we haven't tried, and then we could finish it off with 6 ounces or 8 ounces of a triple IPA at 100 IBUs, and that was a good time. I really liked that place. The service there was really good. Everybody was really friendly.
Yeah.
And all around, it was just a good atmosphere.
It was, very impressive. I'm curious what it's like when it's full and packed, in normal, normal times. I don't know, how long they've been around. We didn't ask too many questions. We just kind of got in and experienced what they had for us. But
yeah.
Next time we get up there, I'd definitely like to track them out, because they even had Nashville beers there, like Proper Sake, Koji Gold, which isn't my favorite, but
you got to try it on draft.
Yeah, and I liked it a lot better on draft. Almost anything's better on draft. I mean, it's hard to beat right off the tap. So
right.
I had more flavor, the Koji flavor on that beer in particular, but it's definitely one to start with, just as a not quite water, but water enough.
Yep.
But it's way better than a lot of the typical light beers I drink. But I gave it a low score originally when I first got it. I think it was just because it was in a can, and maybe I don't know if I left it out in the heat too long or something, and then cooled it off or what. But the next rounds I've had were great, especially the one that was lagered 100 days. That was very good for a light beer. So anyway, they had a lot of good beers on display for you to pour.
And then where was next after that? Highwire.
Oh yeah, we drove by that and went.
Yeah, we were on our way to. I can't remember where we were gonna go, and I don't think we ended up making it. We were on our way to, what was the name of the brewery? It might have been. Well, it was another brewery that was on the list that we were planning on going to, and then we passed Highwire, and we're like, oh shit. Knoxville has a Highwire location, which we've heard about before, Mitch. Yeah. And we just hadn't, we just happened to drive by it, and we're like, let's stop in and see what they had. And they had $4 specials for their, their hazy IPA, which is, I don't think either one of us have had that before.
No, I'd never heard of it. And a lot of Highwire stuff, I just, I'm guilty of turning a blind eye to Highwire. When they first hit the shelves, I got excited because they were part of the first initial rush of other craft beer hitting Nashville shelves and the local kind of business scene. And anyway, it's so weird now that I think 6 Point was one of their IPAs or something like that. Highwire 6 Point something. Anyway,
I don't remember.
Maybe that's a separate brewery. I know.
Yeah.
Confused, but they have like the same kind of badging to my mind, I guess. But I just remember having them 2 or 3 years ago, but then our shelves just got so tight packed and enjoyable that I never really sought them out. So it was great to be able to visit them. They kept everything spaced out and safe for us, and the beers were, I think that one on special was what, $4?
$4. Yeah,
can't beat that.
A whole pint of a good hazy IPA, and I agree with you. I'm guilty of it. Highwire, I think they make real good beer. They make you might be thinking of High Pitch and Low Pitch, which is like their juicy IPA line that they have.
That's it.
And then they got like the hazy and juicy and hoppy and fresh. Like I I appreciate Highwire beer. I really do. I think what they make is good, but I'm just as guilty as you are. I just turn a blind eye to it because, back then when they were one of the only players in the game, we were always looking for something new Highwire. And since then, our shelves are just flooded with everything new and everything new.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just looking for something more exciting. And while I think Highwire makes really good beer, I don't gravitate towards them anymore. So I 100% agree with you. It was refreshing to be able to stop in and see, an Asheville brewery make its way into Knoxville and have an actual tap room, and be able to sit down and kind of recall how good Highwire beer is, because we haven't had it in a while, Mitch.
Right.
I haven't anyway.
No, I haven't either. I think I picked up 2 beers while there, I believe. And one I think you suggested, and it was the Cryo, I believe.
Yeah,
Cryo.
that was the other one. That was the other one that you had, was the Cryo, which is like a dank IPA.
It was good. Yeah, it was fantastic. So I've been missing out with Highwire.
I think I picked up the S'mores Porter.
Ooh, yeah.
Which was really good. I kind of expected, when I have s'mores, I almost want it in a stout. Give me a graham cracker stout with chocolate and vanilla and marshmallows. Put it in a stout. I don't know that I've had a s'mores stout. If I have, I don't remember, but I've had quite a few s'mores porters before. Highwire did theirs right. 6%, 20 IBUs. It was just perfectly good to drink while we were there. It wasn't too hot. It wasn't too cold where we were. The s'mores porter just it hit perfectly, and I really liked it. I gave it a 3. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. I thought it was a very good beer. Yeah,
and that's the high marks, on our Untapped. 3.5 and above is like,
yep,
that's good.
Absolutely.
Would have again.
Yeah.
The man, yeah. From there we hopped out. We had 2 and drop or whatever, right?
Bounced out, yeah. Where did we go? Oh, that was next. We went to the burger. What was the
life-changing burger?
Oh my God, Mitch, that was so good.
And the fries.
Duck fat fries with a burger. I'm trying to remember something in barrel, stock and barrel.
Stock and barrel, yeah.
Stock and barrel. Mitch, that burger was life-changing, dude.
It was insane. Like, I've been to good burger joints, but this one really tipped the scales. Like,
I don't know if I've had a burger that good anywhere else before.
I haven't. Yeah. It blew my mind. I had the Bernie at Stock and Barrel, but replaced the blue cheese with goat cheese as the waitress recommended. And she was spot on, dude. It was savory and creamy, and it had a little bit of sweetness because of the goat cheese, and it meshed perfectly with the rest of the ingredients, seasonings, and then those fries were definitely MVP. Like, of that meal, I've never had goat cheese before, but it was, or not goat cheese. Sorry, the beer's hitting. Duck fat fries. That was a whole new thing. Man.
Yes, God, that was so good. Those fries were next level, man. They were already really good fries, and then they put duck fat in. Oh, it sounds weird, but it works. It really works.
It was fantastic. I would have again every day for the rest of my life if I could. Oh, what's for dinner? I'll take it. Yes, yeah, same thing. I'll take it again. That is my new final last meal kind of deal.
Yep.
It is. Now I gotta figure out the beer to accompany it with.
That'd be perfect. Well, we didn't have beers at dinner. I don't think. I ran with an old fashioned.
Yeah, they their main thing was whiskeys, bourbons, scotches, and I think they had a wine list as well.
Yep, I'm okay with all that.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if we have one local here. But what was our next stop after that? Was that autumn?
Yeah, Last Days of Autumn was our next, and that kind of brings us up to I think the final place where we ended up going on our Saturday trip. Last Days of Autumn, which is a small nano brewery in Knoxville, and they've been there for a few years, and I'm just pulling up their I'm pulling up their Untappd page right now because I don't know a ton about them. I just know that I've been there twice. I know that they do brunch on Sundays, and they do like, they pair blueberry pancake breakfast stouts really well with or blueberry French toast stout with French toast for brunch on Sunday, and it was phenomenal. Robert and I went when we were in Knoxville a couple years back, and we ended up going on like a Friday night to have some beers there, and then we ended up going Sunday on our way out because Robert's a big brunch guy, and we ended up having a really, really good time there.
And so I just discovered something.
What'd you discover?
Stock and Barrel is in Nashville.
No shit.
With the same menu.
No shit.
In the Gulch.
Of course it is.
Yeah, of course it is.
Of course it is. Okay, but that's not a bad thing though.
No,
if they can keep, at the expense of sounding extremely hipsterish, if they can take a franchise like this and keep it consistent across the chain, then I'm okay with that. Definitely. Normally I like these one-off places where, you can't find them anywhere else, but if I can get a burger that good in Nashville, 30 minutes from where I currently live,
yeah,
game over, Mitch. I'm there. Yeah. I'm there as soon as I can. I'm looking up their Instagram page right now because I'm assuming that's where you found it.
So to take a step back from Autumn and back to the Stock and Barrel real quick, that Bernie burger is beef, goat cheese is what I replaced the blue cheese with. Benton's bacon. If you don't know what Benton's bacon is, go fuck yourself.
That's right.
It's very smoky, thick cut bacon, and blueberry preserve and beer battered jalapenos. All lathered, slathered, and layered. Yeah, I guess is something you could say. And then duck fat fries is rendered duck fat, grated Parmesan, scallions, and garlic aioli. So it's all amazing.
Oh, man.
Do you remember what your burger was?
I think it was the steakhouse burger. I think was what it was. So it was A1 steak sauce, which I'm not a huge fan of steak sauce. I think that if a steak is good or a burger is good, you don't necessarily need it. I was wrong as hell in this case because it took an already juicy and like perfect medium rare burger and it just set it off with additional flavors to it. Fried onion strings, and I'm trying to remember what else was on it. I don't think I had anything else. I might have had some sort of cheese on it.
Yeah, it's cheddar here.
Cheddar cheese, okay.
And sauteed mushrooms.
So that's what it was. I 86'd the mushrooms because I didn't want those. Yeah. I took those off, and of course I took also the waitress's recommendation, and I took the fries with the duck fat juice. Oh man, those were so good. I don't know what I liked more. Never in my dinner life have I had a burger and fries that were both so good I couldn't decide which one I liked better. Like, it's normally not a contest. Fries are meant to accompany a meal as a side item. They're not supposed to be as good as the fucking burger that you're eating.
Right. Yeah, this place, we'll have to try out the Nashville location next, see what they're about.
Yeah.
But that Autumn place was cool. It was low key, man.
Yeah. They were super chill, I mean, they were also taking precautions. I thought it was really funny when we walked in and there wasn't a single chair that had another equal chair somewhere else in that entire building. All the chairs, it's like you had to go out of your way to find chairs that don't match one another when you're putting it in this. They had barrels for tables, they had card tables, they had wooden tables. It just nothing matched, which was kind of cool because it's like, okay, you want a place to sit down? We'll give you a place to sit down, but that's not really why you're here. You want to drink our good beer. And it was good. We had, oh God, what was it? I'm trying to remember what I drank when I was there. Juicy J double IPA. Did you have the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was delicious.
9.2%. I'm trying to remember the IBU count. I can't seem to find it. Hazy double, Rakau, Rakau hops. I don't know what those are, but El Dorado is what sticks out to me because those are one of my favorite hops. I love El Dorado hops. And it was just good. You know, there was I wish I could have ordered a flight, but they weren't doing flights. So we just had the one. I think we ate so much and drank so much that day that we just had to call it quits.
Yeah. Yep. It was Juicy J double IPA. 9.2% ABV. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then that kind of brings us up to current, right? That's where we're drinking this barrel aged Dupree. I will say, as it's warming up, there's more chocolate coming through, even though there was a lot already.
Yeah, I made a mistake. I drank it.
Are you done with yours already?
I am.
Shit, Mitch, seriously?
Yeah, I went through it. It doesn't drink like the percentage it is. You know, it's really easy to drink.
You know what this reminds me of, Mitch? There was do you remember the Three Floyds? And we had an episode on this one time. There was a Three Floyds stout that was like super bitter and super hoppy, and we were expecting it to be like this extremely dark, chocolatey, like sweet stout. We were at the studio in Hendersonville recording when we were going over. It was one of our earlier episodes. I don't even think it ever released, but
I know what you're talking about. It's one of their annual releases. It's like 4 words. It's got a crazy
something blackout the sun or something like that.
The sun.
Blackout the sun.
That's it. Yeah.
This beer reminds me of that, because when we had Blackout the Sun.
Oh, Blot Out the Sun. Sorry.
Blot Out the Sun. Thank you. I was looking for it and I couldn't find it. Yeah, 10.4%, 97 IBUs. It was just a very bitter, dark beer, but it wasn't sweet, right? It was real hoppy. It was real bitter. This reminds me of a lighter version of that, but barrel aged, because it's not as bitter from a hoppy standpoint. It's bitter from a chocolate standpoint, and then it's barrel aged instead. But when I drink a stout that's barrel aged, I expect it to be really sweet, and this is kind of more on the bitter side.
Yeah, man, I forgot about Blot Out the Sun. It was a good one.
So all in all, Knoxville, I think great trip. I think we had a good experience. I definitely go back. There's other places that we probably didn't visit that we need to.
Yeah, I didn't realize how many breweries were out in Knoxville. I just assumed Nashville was the only thing really in Tennessee, because I'm still blind to the other 2 major cities, or 3 cities. Chattanooga, I'm a little more exposed to because family lives there, Hutton and Smith and whatnot. But yeah, man, Knoxville's got them. They've got a lot going on. And then Memphis is starting to really percolate a lot of new breweries. There was one that I'm having trouble to remembering that I got excited about because my boss knew the people starting the brewery. But
nice.
High Cotton, I think.
High Cotton.
I have to check in and see if they're still around or how they're hanging in this year. But I definitely want to check out Bill Street Brewing and see what they're about.
Well, and High Cotton Brewing, they make that awesome saison that you brought back. That was just very Cornish tasting. It was very floral and almost had some.
It had some real peppery notes in it too.
Yeah,
I miss that, dude. It wasn't your farmhouse sour. It was a farmhouse like pepper.
It was a real saison. It was a real farmhouse ale. It wasn't that. A saison that's, masked as a saison, but it's really a sour. It was a real farmhouse ale.
Yeah. Man.
I'm looking up High Cotton right now, and they're still going. I mean, they're posting on their Instagram page. They're canning. They're still closed, but they're distributing to retailers now. I don't know if that was happening last time you were there, Mitch.
It's been a long time since I've seen them.
They're distributing now, so good on them. And I don't know. I think it'd be fun to go. You and I have talked some time back about, going if we ever get a chance to just kind of go check them out.
Yeah, for sure. I gotta look up what's happening in Memphis craft brewery wise nowadays, because Wiseacre's down there, and the usual stipulation I say with Wiseacre is anything high ABV is good, anything low I don't enjoy from them.
Mm-hmm.
But the anytime any place can prove me wrong. But
Yep.
I think a Memphis trip needs to happen for sure.
Absolutely. A Memphis trip would be really fun to go and drink some barbecue. Even if there's just a couple of places there. I mean, like High Cotton, and then the new Beale Street Brewing would be fun to go to. And then let's not forget Memphis barbecue is killer. So that would go really good with some craft beer.
If we time it right, we could go to the Memphis Barbecue Festival next year and then hit all the breweries.
Bet. I'm down.
I haven't been, but I've heard it's awesome. Better than the music festival.
Mm-hmm.
At least recently.
So what was your I guess just closing thoughts on the last days of autumn barrel-aged Dupree? What'd you think of it?
The Dupree will sneak up on you. If you don't pace it, you're going to drink it all quickly.
I'm still not done with mine. I don't know how you finished yours so fast.
It was really good. It went down easy. It's sweet. It still has that little bit of bourbon kick to it, but it's not pungent like a lot of these bourbon barrel-aged beers have. It had just enough of a note where you knew it was there, but then it quickly just dissolves, and then you're left with a chocolately bitter kind of palate. So the head was there when you poured it, and it's got the beauty marks all the way to the taste. So it's awesome, dude. Kudos to them. They knocked it out of the park.
What's the untapped rating when you check it in? Because I always ask about that. I got to put you on the spot and ask you, what are you going to rate this beer when you check it in, Mitch?
It's gonna be a 4.25 for me.
Nice.
It's very easy to drink. I don't know. It's almost the best worst nightmare I could encounter in the wild if I got my hands on it.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah, it's.
I put it in the same category, honestly. I think that for stouts, I prefer something a little more sweet chocolate than bitter chocolate. I think the barrel aged was set off just right. I bonus points for being able to brew a 10% imperial stout that drinks like probably a 7%, somewhere around there. The fact that you can brew a 10% stout and not make me feel anything, or taste anything until I decide to get up, I think is really impressive. So I'm just a big guy in general. The chocolate was good. Like I said, I liked the bitter chocolate, more of a dark sweet chocolate, milk chocolate guy on my stouts itself. But I think that it was done right in this case, and it works with the barrel aged. Didn't taste any coffee. I'm gonna go 3.75 on this one. I think that if it was a little bit more sweeter from a chocolate standpoint and less bitter dark chocolate, it would have probably clicked towards a 4 for me. But I'm going to stick with a 3.75. But that's still high marks. I think they did a great job. I'm interested in checking out more from them. Like I said, I've been there twice before, and once this whole pandemic gets behind us, we're going to go back, and then we're going to drink flights, and we're going to just enjoy all kinds of their beer, and we're going to go to different places.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't wait.
But it's been fun.
Yeah, man. It's good to catch up again after the weekend and through the work week. And weekend's upon us. So
yep. And there's still more craft beer to be drunked.
Dude, yes. We're gonna definitely be drinking some Living Water soon. Still got a shitload of Bearded Iris as usual. So we'll be talking more Bearded Iris. And I think we gotta the past few weeks, all I've collected have been proper sake, Bearded Iris,
Living Waters.
I think that's a product of the time, because all I'm getting in my feeds are, their live stories that I immediately go through. And digest, and then I go, oh, I want that, and I hit order, get it on the weekend.
Now you're
Southern
broke as
Grist,
hell.
yes, Southern Grist is another one we cover a lot, but we definitely need to diversify our profile in the upcoming couple months and figure out, okay, calm down here, let's get some other people.
We'll be doing that. We'll be doing it.
It's just one of those things that, after we got back into routine here, we're probably gonna stick to more of a every 2 weeks, but as we get to it, maybe every week again. But one of those things is just like, availability. We got full-time gigs, so I'm excited to talk about beer, and always open to talk about beer with whoever wants to talk about beer.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's fun. We've got lots of things in the pipeline. I think we've got some exciting interviews and some exciting times coming up this year for us. We've got, I know we've got beers that we're going to be doing with collaborations. We've got the All Together that we've got quite a few of. So we have Bearded Iris, Trim Tab, Untitled Art. So we've got quite a few of those that we're going to be able to sit down and drink, whether it's together. I'm sorry.
We're also going to have the All Together sake from Proper Sake too.
Right, exactly. So we're going to have a lot of those, and I think that'll be a good time, whether it's virtual or whether it's all together, no pun intended. We're going to be doing the Black is Beautifuls as well, because we have the Yazoo version, the Bearded Iris version, and we'll talk about, we didn't get a chance to snack the Living Waters version of at least some to go. We were gracious enough to get some in a in a plastic cup to go when we stopped by there on Saturday, but we'll get a chance to kind of reminisce about that. So lots of exciting things in the pipeline, Mitch.
Definitely. I can't wait to get to it, release it, and hear what people have to say.
I think it was just a great time all around, and we appreciate everyone kind of sitting down and taking some time out and enjoying your happy hour with us this weekend. And if you're not drinking beer, start drinking beer. If you're already drinking beer, keep drinking beer. And if you've never had craft beer before, there's a lot out there, man. It's not just Nashville, and it's not just Knoxville. It's all over, and it's continuing to take the country by storm, and there's no letting up on it. So wherever you are, go out, support your local craft breweries, because you're guaranteed to find something. And we'll see you guys on the next time, and cheers to you guys.
Cheers.